Welcome all to the Mind of Ivory podcast. And on today's podcast, I will be talking about chasing dreams and fighting demons. And that's been weighing on me for a while now because I know for myself that I've been through a lot of different things and I've understood how I felt when it came to trying to figure out ways to get to that next step. And I'm just kind of going to give people a backstory on me so they can understand when I discuss the chasing dreams part, and then also I'm going to go into the fighting demons right after that. So when it comes to chasing dreams, you first have to figure out what is something that you're dreaming about. What is a goal of yours? And then what are the ways for you to be able to obtain that goal? Because there's steps to everything, but there's also multiple ways to get to where you want to be at. And for myself, a lot of times I always thought about, okay, well, if I'm in a certain location or for just a certain person sees me, then I'll just make it. And it doesn't just happen like that. You have different types of people that you'll come around, and then you have different situations that happen in your life to where you're sometimes unable to be able to go through that door when it's open for you because you have other things holding you back. And so for me, you know, I started off in 2011. I was in the Navy. And from that point, I was basically, to a degree, just living on my own. I was away from what was familiar to me, which was Georgia, which was the family. And, I had to do like learn stuff on my own at that point. And I still wanted to do things I was passionate about. I love writing. I love making music, dancing, of course. As y'all see, I'm always putting a dance video up. So I've been doing that for a long time. And I just wanted to figure out a way to make all my dreams and ambitions come together. And so, being in the military, you meet different people and you meet people that also become family to you. And so, my time in the military, I met some really great people, some really influential people in my life that has helped me along the way, and that's still helped me in different ways. And, even when I was in, I still try to figure out, okay, how can I navigate through life just by myself, because you can still call family and friends, but it's just different when they're like there with you, you know, and it's all about growing up as well. Not everybody's going to be holding your hand. Not everybody's going to be able to tell you everything that you want to hear. So you have to, figure out stuff, your own self and figure out ways to get through certain things that have been, treacherous for you or seem like it just always slows you down. And that comes with also making sure you're keeping the right company around you too, because you have such things as you may hear like dream killers. You have people that hear what you say, and to them it sounds good, but if it's not something they can see themselves doing, then it's hard for them to believe it. And anybody just joined in, I hope y'all are blessed and you having a great day so far. And we just discussing chasing dreams and fighting demons, and I was just talking about dream killers, and that being people who, if they don't see themselves doing it, then they may give you like the wrong type of encouragement or advice because it's not something that is beneficial to them. And that's why sometimes if your circle is small, there's nothing wrong with that, because if you have a few people around you that mean you well, that's the best thing for you. Then rather have a group or a mass of people that you think that knows you, but only knows how to try to either manipulate you or try to just be user friendly with you. And we don't need that, because it's hard for you to really concentrate and get closer to what you want, because you're trying to make sure that you can keep in their good graces. What I'm saying? You got to think about yourself first and what's going to be beneficial for you as well. And so, navigating through those different things, you meet people that you can actually talk to, that, they'll evoke the right emotions from you. You know what I'm saying? They'll bring that energy that you need to carry on, because, when we going through this race of life, a lot of times it's hard for us to carry that baton. So it's like you feel, okay, I'm getting there. I can see, the finish line. I can see, me getting to that next point. But you don't have nobody to, pass it off to when it gets too heavy for you. Um, you have a lot of things that just sometimes it's getting your way that just throw you off course. Yeah, that's right, Kevin. Yeah, Kevin Moffitt, who also hosts the Southern Frame of Mind with me, he was just mentioning, don't tell others your plan either. The bad energy, may, cause for you to like lose your, dreams or the passion behind what you're doing because you can't stay focused. You want them to acknowledge that you're doing something, and then you'll go continue doing the things that you feel okay now I can obtain. But it's just learning yourself, learning who you are, and also loving yourself because we have different things we're insecure about. We have things that hold us back. We have things that make us feel okay if we get those certain things, whether it's a physical thing or whether it's just something, a degree, then that makes you better, and that makes you feel like, hey, now I can be around those people that I felt I needed, their appreciation, or I needed their acknowledgement. And so, it's all so many different things that can get in our way. And for myself, as I get out the military, I was trying to figure out, okay, I need to make sure I have a job. I need to make sure, I'm able to still keep myself, together, because it's hard when you transition out of the military and you don't have yourself set up. And that's a big thing I would tell anybody that's, coming up of age. When you're doing something, make sure you're investing in yourself. Make sure you're saving. Make sure you're not just, blowing money on things that's just only going to hold you back. Because when you do that, then when something happens, when it rains, now you're uncovered. You know what I'm saying? So now anything that happens, you're just gonna like fall victim to it. And that also goes along with having the right people in your corner as well. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very appreciative and thankful for the people I do have in my corner and the people I can reach out to and call, because that makes a huge difference. Because I always try to put out something positive. I always try to, make sure that whatever outlet I have, I try to use it to the best of my knowledge to help other people out there. But I have things that sometimes can bring me down, or can even make you vulnerable. But at the same time, you have those people that are willing to say, "Hey, no, you got this. You can make this." Those few little words make a difference, because there's also other words people can give you that can cause you to feel insignificant about yourself. You think that, okay, well, I thought, this person looked at me this way, but I guess maybe I'm not as good as I thought I was. But you never second guess yourself. Never second guess yourself, because we all won't be great at a lot of things, but we can all be good at, what I'm saying, many things. You know what I'm saying? If you're practicing and you putting the time into it. And that's one thing I learned over time. And for me, when I like reminisce on things, I think about what I could have possibly changed or made better. But then I also think about, okay, I can't change that now. I'm living in the present, trying to have a better future. But if I'm still just thinking about my past, that's just only going to keep me in the past. And then I may like revert back to those same options or those same opinions that people had, which is going to only just, bring, my trajectory down. And so we don't need that. And as time went on, I continue having great people in my life that, looked out for me, uh, when I needed it, gave me, a place to say great words, and that helped me. And also for myself, keeping God in my life, having faith and understanding that believing and having faith is great, but also you have to be willing to put the work in. You can't want to achieve something and then never want to put the work in and looking for handouts. If you don't have the drive or motivation to want to do it yourself, you can't complain about, what everybody else is getting, because somehow or another, however they're getting whatever it is they're receiving, they're putting in some type of work. You know, some could be illegal, some could be, what I'm saying, doing it the right way, but they're doing something active to be able to get, have something coming back into them. And, I just understand that, in this life, it takes a lot of, thinking and reflecting on ways to better yourself. It's always about bettering yourself. Yes, it's in the workplace and different arenas. Yeah, you have your competition, but you always should want to be better than the person you was the day before. And so that way the next day, what I'm saying, you can say, hey, I remember doing this, I remember doing that, but I see how I kind of change that up and how it's making my day go better, but it's also making me be a more productive person in society. And so, and that's my part as far as with, chasing your dreams, having the understanding and the willpower to want to have a better life for yourself, and being surrounded by people that also are doing things and also have their dreams and their goals. Because sometimes another thing, what I realized too, when you have maybe certain friends or family members, or people that you work with that may not have nothing going on, and then you're, feeding them your ideas and stuff like that, then people sometimes become envious because they look at you and say, oh, that person has a way out. So if this right here doesn't work, what they have now, they have a way out, but I have to stay here. I have to keep this. I made the wrong decision, so now I can't move the way they're moving. And then that creates, that animosity, and then that creates people, you know, not really wanting to be in your corner or be positive around you. It's always that weird overtone. And a lot of us see that and we go through that day to day, you know. And so that's pretty much my portion on, you're chasing your dreams, you know what I'm saying? Just making sure that you always encourage your others around you, but also keep yourself encouraged. Whether it's reading a novel that brings your spirits up, playing some music, listen to your favorite comedian, tell a joke, that you can just replay over and over again. And then, everything that's inside you starts to build back up in the right way. And then that light starts to shine back into your life. Now I want to talk about, you know, fighting demons. I mean, fighting demons is something that can deal with your past, whether it's a action or something that you did in your past that haunts you. But then you also have demons or spirits and people that walk amongst us every day. And so I want to first talk about, the demons that plague us, personally. So nobody knows what, everything that you've been through. You have your friends, your family that they know what you tell them or what they see. But throughout your whole life, they're not going to know everything about you. They're not going to know every single thing that you did right or wrong. And we have certain things in our life that some of us do that it haunts us. We create certain situations for ourselves where we have to either defend ourselves, or we either have to do certain things that we want to maybe have something financial, or we're trying to just do something just to be able to fit in. And you might have committed something in your past that nobody knows about, but you know about. And so now you're wondering, okay, how can I, move away from that? How can I get that out of my mind? And so things with that is seeking therapy, finding somebody that you can confide into, whether it be a family member, a friend, or just or somebody that you work with that you feel like you really trust and be able to be open with. Because when you carry that stuff in your system, then it creates certain internal issues. So now everything that you do, you're second guessing because you're wondering those things, those demons that you had in your past, are they going to come right back up and affect you? And so with that, and for me personally, I've had things in my past that, I look back at and say, man, I wish I would have done this better. Or if I would have really thought this through, I would have made that dumb decision. But things do happen, you know what I'm saying? And you have to get it right. You can be shining like gold, but your insides are copper. And that doesn't match up. And so that's why people who sometimes get in relationships or they have friendships, they're seeing the outer layers of a person. But then when you peel the onion back, it's like, wow, this person is nothing like I thought. And now you're trying to figure out where did you go wrong in picking this person to be with or picking this person to be your friend. And that happens a lot. And so, I realize that, that's why I want to be a better person. I know I can't change the past. I can't change relationships that I was in that didn't work. I can't change conversations I might have had with family members that I could have maybe said something different or, really listen to them more. I can't change that, but what I can do is make sure that as long as, I'm still on this earth, still use my voice and use my time and my actions to create a better life for myself and for those around me. And that's, what my platform is, the Mind of Ivory. And that's also what the platform is with the Southern Frame of Mind, with Kevin Moffitt, and also on his own platform too. He has the Respect My Mind, and that's what our platforms are for. Coming together to unite to bridge the gap in society. Those are major things that we want to do and we strive to do. Every time we put something out for everyone to listen to. And so I want to discuss about the demons that are amongst us as far as in other people, and those spirits that just latch on to different people. So people can smile in your face, people can tell you kind words, people can, every time you're around them, always seem to do the right thing. But there comes a time when you start to see these people's true colors. You start to see that they're gonna try to manipulate you, or you start to see that other people that used to be around them are telling you stories of who they really are. And now you're trying to figure out, do you open up and tell them, hey, I feel a certain way, or do you just leave it alone? And a lot of times, because we feel like we care about a person, we just kind of just deal with it and we expect for them to possibly change. But people are not going to change unless they're forced to, or unless they feel like that's going to be the best thing for them on their own time. And so you have people out here who's willing to cause evil actions against you. They're willing to do any and everything to make sure that you don't have a way out, and you're just stuck trying to figure out how you can not, and you're stuck trying to figure out, okay, how can I get out of this rut? You have people that put certain things in place to where, oh, now you, maybe a group of people, a society, association, now they can't flourish because doors are now closed, or there's certain agendas that are coming together, so that way it makes it easier for a group of people to excel, but then another group of people to decline. So you all have all different types of wrongdoings that go on, and it's easy to tap into, quote unquote, the dark side, or tap into doing malicious or having those ideas in your mind because of the stuff that we not only see in media, but what we talk about amongst ourselves, but also too how we feel behind closed doors, because nobody know how you really think, what I'm saying, behind closed doors, when you just to yourself, or you just amongst your like a media family, because you may have ideas and opinions that may be totally different from what you put out when you're around people that you work with. And for myself, I've seen a lot of that, and we still constantly see that. We see people that will do any and everything to get where they need to be at. They'll make certain sacrifices, or they'll do certain things to eliminate anybody that's in their way. you know and we just have to understand that life is not just all going to be easy. You're going to have rough days. You're going to have to defend yourself in different ways, mentally and physically. We all go through different situations. So at one point, majority of us could be happy, things going right. It's like everything we touch is just manifesting in the right way. And then we have others who, they may have weeks or months where they're just going through, it's tough times. Nobody can really understand how to make them feel better. And that's why it's good to make sure that you keep your mind safe and guarded, because once you let somebody manipulate you, or you let them use your mind against your own self, that's when you become basically like a zombie. And it's like you're incapable of doing anything that's going to better yourself, and you basically dead inside. And so for myself, I understand that that is something that can be challenging, because you ready to just give up, because you feel like it's never going to be better. And of course, there's never going to be a heaven on earth. You know, this place wasn't made to have heaven on earth, but you're going to experience hell. And also too, the hell that we may experience on here is nothing like the eternal hell. That those who believe in the Bible understand that when you don't live right and you don't believe in God, and you don't repent for your sins, that's option B. you know and so for myself, I'm realizing that I just want to be a better person in general, because I understand there's snakes in the grass. I understand there's demons lurking around ready to just attack the innocent and also, just destroy the world. I understand that, because there's different spirits that leech onto people. And for myself, it's about just being covered, being in a position to where you understand that no matter what happens in this life, you're going to take every day and every opportunity to do something that's going to possibly make a difference going forward, because we won't live forever. So there's going to be generations and generations after us. So the things that we do, the actions that we make now, it may not change the whole world, but it can change one person. Then that person may change another person, and then becomes a positive domino effect. A lot of times when we see the dominoes fall, it's never good. It's like they never can set up the right way. But you can have a positive domino effect, you know, to where people are understanding that, what, I know in my past I didn't do right, and I know I have things that haunt me. But I'm gonna take what I've learned from that, the pros and cons, and then what I'm gonna do is try to give advice and help other people, because that's what it's all about. Everybody wants to have better for themselves, and you should. You shouldn't want the least in life. You should want to strive to have better. But some people are comfortable with just the bare minimum, and it's like you can't push them to want more because they feel like that's just what's good enough for them. Why work harder when you have just enough to just get you by? But for myself, that's not how I want to live. I want to be able to see my family, have the things that they want, but also be able to be proud of me, and I also am proud of them. And so that's what motivates me and pushes me to continue going, even on days where I feel like it's too tough, or my shoulders just can't carry the stress. I believe in God, and I have faith, and I also understand too I have to put the works in, because a lot of people can quote a scripture and easily just send it to you, but then when it comes to actually living it out in reality, it's something totally different. So stand by your words, but also make sure you're living by your actions. And for myself, I appreciate being able to have platforms where we can speak on the things that we feel. I appreciate people that's in my life right now, and the people that I will begin to know as I network and just navigate through life and come in contact with people that may, hear the words that I'm saying or hear the things that we say on our podcast, Southern Family Mind with Kevin Moffitt, and they may say, hey, we want you to do some type of speaking, or we want you to just, maybe sign with us, whatever the case may be. The biggest thing is, making a lasting impact that's going to help other people. Because for myself, I came to a point where I was like, I don't want to live life for just myself. I want to live my life for the purpose of helping other people, because I can help myself within that. Things that I went through, things that I'm still trying to get over, it becomes therapy. It becomes me being able to empty out, my soul and replenish it back with the things that's necessary for me to continue to grow. And that's what makes life so amazing, when you have people around you that all come together for the right reasons and everything like that. So I just want to say I appreciate everybody that has that's listening now, and the ones that will listen to this once I upload it. I just want to say I thank y'all all for tuning in. I appreciate the support you give. I appreciate when you just shout me out, or you shout out the podcast, or whatever the case may be. It means something. I never take that for granted, and that's why I just want to continue being the best person I can be, because it starts with me first, and it starts with yourself first. So, and until next time, this has been another edition of the Mind of Body podcast. Y'all stay blessed, stay safe, and peace.